I expect we're like 10 episodes away from me talking about like MeUndies or something to get enough money to pay an editor.
Oh my gosh, Kate would be so glad. That is her thing. That she loves MeUndies more than it is reasonable to love underwear.
All right, well, hold on. They're not paying us yet, so don't say
I'm going to start that right here.
But maybe we'll do an affiliate link or something to start trying to make enough money to pay some child in some country to edit this podcast.
And by some child in some country, you mean your children in this country?
Yes, exactly. We had a snow day today, and I woke my children up and I said, hey, good news, it's a snow day today. You don't have to go to school. And my oldest said, her first reaction upon waking up, she goes, well, can we go to school, though? And I'm like, no, Aww. It's closed. And she's like, but we're learning 3-digit multiplication today. And I was like, what? Like,
that is your kid, though.
Yeah, she's like, but we're learning multiplication, 3 digits times 3 digits.
But Dad, math.
Right, exactly. So. Welcome to the Insignificants, the oral history of Darling Waste, episode 7. I'm not like you. We are hosts Lance and Jaime.
You feeling okay? You sound a little stuffy.
Yeah, I am a little bit. I'm coming out of being sick. I was sick Saturday, and I'm now, slightly better. But yeah, just gruff sounding today.
No, I'm sorry. You still up for this?
Oh yeah, 100%. How was your week?
It was all right. Thanksgiving was nice. We went to Kate's family in Buffalo, but my parents and Claire came with us, so we still had both sides together, which was nice.
Oh, wow,
everybody,
that's nice.
Yeah, everybody gets along really well. So
that's really cool. Yeah. They traveled for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. How about you?
Oh, it was fine. My wife is not the world's greatest communicator. And she just assumed that I had Friday off, and I did not. And our Thanksgiving was Friday, and she didn't bother to tell me until Monday, because I said, what time is Thanksgiving on Thursday? She's like, oh, we didn't tell you. We moved to Friday because everyone was doing their, little family things on Thursday, so we're doing the big one on Friday. I'm like, yeah, I work, and I have a show. So it was interesting. But, yeah.
How'd the show go?
It was fine. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't know. So it was weird. I don't have a solution, but here's the problem so I'm 45 and not famous. So I can either play friends' houses for 8 people who remember who I am, which is, I think, what you should do, or just a bar. And I'm not from a genre that you can just go play a bar, right. And this place was pitched to me as a listening room that was very musically inclined. It was just a corner bar in Berea. It was a strange crowd. It was a hard to get a crowd over. Last week we had the issue where the song was good and we didn't know what to talk about. This is not the same problem this week. So
I don't know. I might surprise you a little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
We will see. You can leave comments and questions over on our YouTube or Spotify. We love comments. We'll talk about them on the next show. You can also leave voice notes through our Instagram DM. Our Instagram is just Darling Waste. I got mentioned in the Seth Meyers and Lonely Island podcast this week.
You did not,
which is pretty fun.
Tell me.
Yeah, I mean they didn't say it by name, but it was me. Just last week's episode. Andy Samberg. They said something about in the video, did they have fans on the hair? And Andy said, no, I'm pretty sure we had professionals. And Seth just didn't get the joke and just kept moving. And I commented, and I was like, I can't believe that Andy made that great joke, and Seth just didn't get it and kept moving. I'm like, that was a great joke. It sucks he missed it. And Seth's like, hey, so someone pointed out that I missed your joke, and then he read my thing verbatim. Then Andy's like, thank you. It was a good joke. I'm like, you're welcome, Andy Samberg. So
I love that. I love that for you.
One thing I do want to do, and we talked about this a little bit, but I want to start moving the timeline part of the podcast a bit, particularly because I think we're at about the halfway point of the album now or so.
Yeah.
So we've established that I started writing these songs as early as 10th, 11th grade. We got serious about it, I think fall of 2001 in Akron. We met you fall of 2002, I think we've agreed now.
Yep.
It started what would be the record, I guess. But it was about half done, but we started getting serious about wrapping it up. The album comes out fall of 2003. Does that all seem correct?
That's about right, because the inscription you wrote on my personal copy mentions that I was about to become a parent, which would have been in December of 2003. Shout out to my almost 22-year-old.
Yeah, and that's what I think. I think the song, the album came out in December of 2003. So it took 2 years to record, and we've talked a lot about the very early stuff. So we had talked about maybe talking about how we moved in together. Is that something you want to chat about?
Sure, why not?
All right, cool. So do you know when about we moved in together?
I do. So we would have moved in together somewhere around the spring-ish of 2003.
That was my guess as well, like March, April 2003.
And that's when my girlfriend at the time, now my ex-wife, and I, had sort of drifted apart, and we decided we had been living together. We decided we would split up, and you and I had already been hitting it off, and I think you needed to get out of your parents' place. And
that's right. Yeah, I was in my parents' basement. I had lived in Strongsville for, I think, 2 years in an apartment with a girl. And then she wanted to move to a trailer park in Akron, and I was not going to do that. So we split up, and I went back to my parents' house. And because my whole thing was, at the time, I felt Strongsville was like the furthest boonies I could possibly be away from the Cleveland music scene. So it was like killing my soul to think about moving to like Akron area. So yeah, I wanted to get into Lakewood, where it was all happening. So we
ultimately found a good place.
Yeah, we ended up in Hopkins, was the name of the street, because we called it the Hopkins House. And it was like, 2 blocks from the clubs, right, basically?
Something like that. I mean, it was right off of Madison, right?
And then, then if you walk down another block, you got down to the Fantasy, the Symposium, at the time it was it the Foundry yet? I don't think it was, probably. It was probably still the Livewire?
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. Remember that?
I do.
Before they changed names. And the Chamber was right there. And yeah, it was a good time. So what do you remember?
Fantasy what had the pirate boat?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember going there with you I don't know what I was doing there. Maybe it was just dancing.
Night.
Was it 80s night? Okay.
I went every week. I was talking to, do you remember Willow?
Oh, yeah.
I was talking to Willow the other day about it. We went every Wednesday night. I lived at 80s night. It was free. DJ Larry Sims was the DJ. I'm friends with him on Facebook still to this day. I love Larry. He introduced me to so much great music. And that's where 1034 got their name, was an 80s night. But every now and then the cops would just raid the place. I think there's a lot of underage drinking because it was like it was all ages or 18 and up.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of underage drinking. So they caught someone. I think they was coming in and shut it down. And one night, man, I was just hyper. I don't know. I didn't even drink back then, so I don't even know what my excuse was. But there's the stairs that come up, and I decided that the police shouldn't come in.
Oh, always a good move.
So I threw a chair down the steps, and I said, "They're not stopping this party." And everyone started throwing things down the stairs. And they did not arrest me, but they handcuffed me. And they explained outside that was a 1034, which is that was what they were calling it in as, which is officers need assistance for an attempted riot. And they said that if I was arrested for that, it would be a felony. So then we started 1034 Records. Based on the police call sign for them trying to shut down our 80s night. So the pirate ship is where the soundboard was and where you could DJ from, and that's where the front of house was in this giant pirate ship.
Why not?
Yeah, no, the place is awesome.
I would enjoy it so much more now than I could back then. I didn't understand myself well enough to enjoy it. Now I would just be dancing like nobody's business.
I've been injured a lot on stage. I've hurt myself pretty badly several times.
Between teeth and implants and ankles and
One time, very early in my career, do you remember the boots I used to own that were like the paratrooper leather boots? They had no tread on them at all, like zero. They were like flat leather, and I was playing, and the walls were carpeted on the side of the stage, this big thick brown carpet, and my brain told me, you can run up that wall, run up like 2 or 3 steps, then kick off way really big back onto the stage. And I put my foot up, and I went to go up, and it just slid, and I just headbutted a concrete wall as fucking hard as I could, and I just clearly concussed myself. I couldn't see. Everything was just, but I had to just keep playing. And people were like, what the fuck? It's like, yeah, I just ran over and just, as hard as I could, headbutted a concrete wall. We also filmed our music video for I Am the Villain, which is many albums later. But they were nice enough to let us go in there and take over for a day and film, and it was a fun video shoot. Okay, sorry. More about living together. What do you got?
So this is a quadplex. 2 on the bottom, 2 up top. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, that works.
And we had one of the upstairs ones, 2-bedroom, living room, kitchen, bathroom, and then a little sort of sunroom out front that became Jeremiah's bedroom.
Yeah.
And it had that giant mural on it that you guys did or let other people do at some point.
That I don't remember.
It was like a graffiti wall sort of.
Okay, that makes sense, but I don't remember it. But yeah, that tracks. I was very into graffiti.
But I remember having to label my milk as mine because you would drink out of it with just straight from the gallon, which to me is like the worst thing you could possibly do in life.
That has not changed in my life at all. My wife and children hate it.
Yep, happy to share whatever with you, but don't you dare drink my milk out of the gallon. So I remember that. I remember you having sex in the shower, but it was one of those like clawfoot tubs, and the shower curtain had to stay in it, and it didn't, and it flooded the apartment.
Can I tell you a bathtub story?
Please.
So, because I think this perfectly defines who we are as people, or who we were then as people. One day I was out. I don't even know where I was. But anyway, I heard some screaming. And I ran out onto our front porch, upstairs, balcony. And the cops were chasing someone through the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And I said, Jamie, oh my God, come out here. There's a police chase. And this guy has a gun. And this guy was running down the street with a gun. And the cops had guns out, and they were chasing him. And I thought it was the coolest shit ever. And then he ran into our yard between the two things. And I'm like, oh, shit, he's in our yard. So I run through the apartment to the back porch, and he's in our backyard. I'm like, Jamie, where the fuck? And I was so stressed that you were missing it. I'm like, Jamie, where are you? There's a guy in the backyard with a gun. And I'm like yelling, and he looks up at me. I'm like, oh, shit. And he like jumps over the fence, and then the cops come. I'm like, Jamie, now the cops are in the backyard. Come look. And I'm like, you missed everything. Where the fuck? And Jamie is in the bathtub, laying down,
hiding from the gunfire,
from the inevitable gunshots we're about to get that I'm too stupid to hide from. And I'm chasing the police chase, live narrating it, because I think it's the coolest shit ever. And you sensibly went and found the one place they might not be able to shoot us at. I did.
That's us.
Yeah, and I still don't have that sense of self-preservation. So.
We were like the odd couple that actually really did love each other.
Right, no, absolutely.
One of my favorite, most petty stories on my end was one day I was so upset with just like the random socks and other shit you'd left around the house that when you were out, I took a rake and I raked everything of yours from around the house that you'd left out to the very front threshold of your bedroom door and just left the pile there. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's still an issue to my life. I have not done better in life.
That's all right.
When I sit down is when my shoes and socks come off, and then they stay
wherever
there
that is,
because I might need them the next day. So yeah, I still have that issue with my wife. Or she'll like wash a pair of pants, and I'm like, did you wash those pants? Like the ones you've had on for 2 days? Yes, they were on the floor. I'm like, yeah, they were on the floor because I wasn't done with them. Like obviously. So I'm also like a person who like, if I use a spoon but don't want to be done with the spoon yet, I will like prop it on the edge of the sink to let you know that is still a spoon in play. Yeah, I'm a gross person the more I think about it. Yeah, and also, same thing. I always hear this. I'm one of the only people that I've ever met that just drink cow's milk recreationally. Like, I'm thirsty.
You do love milk.
fucking love milk, and I always have, and it's never going to change. I'm lactose intolerant now. I don't care. It's worth it. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Have you tried Lactaid, my friend?
No.
Maybe we need an endorsement deal from them for this podcast.
And my friend is like, yo, you can just get lactose-free milk. I'm like, I'm not changing shit. Milk's my best friend. Like, milk and Reese's Cups are where it's at. So much of Darling Waste for me is like, then it was summertime, and we were on tour, and Lance had a half gallon of chocolate milk and some Reese's Cups and was in blue gym shorts talking to girls. Like, that's 15 years of my life.
Those are great years if that's what you're doing.
And I have like I'm sure I had on some emo band that, doesn't even exist anymore. Like an
no
Emery
regrets.
Shirt.
No regrets.
Too short, stupid hair, flat ironed, big blue gym shorts, and some Chuck Taylors on, and I'm like, I'm in a band, like with my chocolate milk. That was my life for years.
So one of my very closest friends, Andrea, shout out to Andrea. We were working on, I don't know if we were working on her second album at that time, but I know that she was crashing on our couch when she had come up to visit us. So I don't know if you remember the first time you met her.
I don't. I thought this was going to be about a cat.
Oh, no. Okay. So you had never met her. You knew she was staying there. You were out late that night doing whatever. And I just remember you telling me that when you came home that night, you found her sleeping on the couch. And I mean this in all due, not only respect, but out of sincere love for my friend Andrea, that you were so impressed that she had fallen asleep and was hugging her Bible like a stuffed animal, and that was your first impression of her, which, of course, she was a very faithful person and very much part of that, Christian indie scene and stuff. And I knew her well, and I knew her love for that. But I think you had no idea what to do with a pretty girl sleeping on the couch, sleeping with a Bible.
Yeah,
it was just so outside of your wheelhouse.
I do remember my cat Emmett being a major issue. So
I believe at that time we did not know Emmett was Emmett.
Emmett was Emma. Named after Emma Goldstein, in case anybody wants to know how long I've been absolutely
unbearable. And is
unbearable.
it fitting that wasn't Emma a Russian blue cat too?
Yeah.
So fitting that it was.
Yeah, because she's an anarchist. Yeah, she was a Russian-born anarchist revolutionary.
Yeah.
I was reading a lot of Emma Goldstein at the time, and named my cat Emma. And then when Willow started hanging out, we quickly learned that Emma was a boy, because he was just so into Willow. Just loved her. So I do remember your friends spending the night or for a couple days, and so Emmett hated girls a lot, and at the time was just a kitten, but was doing a thing where, do you remember that Emmett could lay down on the couch and grab a hold of it and run around the sides of the couch and claw the fuck out of you as he ran past?
Yeah, a little shit, if I remember correctly.
He was the worst. I loved him. One of my favorite Emmett stories is my ex-wife, one of the first nights she ever spent the night at the Hopkins house. He just comes in. He's screaming and crying. He's so upset that she's there. He is in her face screaming. He's a fat cat, and he gets up on my chest, puts his face against my face, and just pisses on me. It's like, I hate this cat so much.
That's the best Emmett story I've ever heard.
Yeah. So Donnie, our longest drummer, at this point hated me in Cleveland. Donnie was drumming for another band called This City's Silence. And Donnie came over our house once for a party. I had a Christmas party, probably Christmas 2003. I had a party called the Christ X Party, because I thought it was funny instead of Xmas. I don't know. I found a flyer for it recently. It was like a hand-drawn party, and it was acoustic performances from me and Delay and the Merkers and Imperfect and
my gosh,
Saving Adonis played, I think, and probably Johnny Psycho, I imagine, was probably who all played. And Donnie came to that because he was friends with some of those kids. And I had made a sign for our door that said 1034 Records World Headquarters. Do you know why that sign existed?
No.
Businesses could get buy one, get two free pizzas from the local pizza shop, and they wouldn't give it to non-businesses. So I had our house, our apartment specifically, registered as a business in the city of Lakewood to get free pizza. But I had to have a business card, which I got, and I had to have a sign. And Donnie didn't get that I was being a dick by putting world headquarters and thought I was just like that full of myself that our apartment door said world headquarters on it. But it was just a con to get free pizza. And then so that same year, which would have, I guess would have been, it might have been 04, but right in there, yeah, it must have been 04, because we did the Johnny Psycho EP, and it got nominated for Best Rock Album at the Cleveland Scene Music Awards. And do you remember I bought everyone the 1034 hoodies that were like maroon and gold? And I think I bought like 30 and gave them to everyone that was.
Of course, you had to do Cavs colors.
Right. Yeah, they were wine and gold for sure. And it was the Schoolhouse Rocks font because I thought that would be funny also. Everything I did was like, is this a funny joke to me? Yes. And so I made everyone wear their 1034 hoodies to the award ceremony, and there was like 20 of us or more, and they were nominated, a couple other bands were nominated, and I said, there was this famous thing in the 90s where Death Row Records was at the Source Awards, and there was that growing tension between Bad Boy and West Coast, East Coast, and every time Pac or Snoop won something, all of Death Row would get up together and go up there again and just get booed by all of New York, and then Snoop was like, you ain't got no love for Death Row, fuck y'all, and like became this whole thing. So I'm like, we gotta recreate that. So I went and bought a purple suit with like pinstripes, and I remember going in and saying, I want the suit that Tupac wore to his trial. And I bought this purple suit, and Johnny Psycho won, and no one booed us. They cheered, and we all got up there, and then I was like, you ain't got no love for Johnny Psycho and 1034 Records? Fuck y'all. Like, and Donnie's like, I hate this guy. Like, it was just not getting it.
Well, because Donnie is just such a shy person, like, by nature. Just would not.
Right. It just wasn't getting that it was a bit that I was doing.
Yeah.
Like, really thought that's how I was acting.
No.
But then, I don't know if you remember this, someone tried to sign Johnny Psycho at a concert at that, whatever it's called, the Blind Lemon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they came and got me and said, hey, this guy is outside talking shit about you. And I went out there and I was like, yo, don't talk to my band. And he got aggressive with me, and there was like 30 of us, so I ended up like putting them up on the hood of a car, and I was like, don't you ever come near my fucking bands again. And so everyone started calling me Suge. Do you remember when everyone was calling me Suge for like a year? Oh, I could not live it down. Every time I'm like, please stop calling me Suge. And everyone in Cleveland and that little punk rock music scene was like, all right, Suge, just don't hit me. And that was, because I threatened someone over a Johnny Psycho contract in a parking lot. Were you there when I don't think you were, because I think it was
I was only there for a few months until we found out we were pregnant and got back together. I mean, not you and I were pregnant, although that would have been cool in its own way. But and got back together. So I probably was, by September, maybe October, was probably out of there. So we only lived together for a couple months, actually.
Yeah, I remember the cops getting called that winter on me because we hadn't taken the trash out in a long time, and it was just like piling up on that back porch. And I bought a sword, and it was like Jeremiah and Andy and I think Pat were all just throwing bags of trash, and I was cutting them with a samurai sword, and the neighbor called the cops. The cops were like, why? I'm like, look how sharp this thing is.
Were they like, oh, that's cool, we want to try?
Like, I don't think so. No, because that night we had a party, and I had a couch. Were you there when I wrote on the couch? Did the couch have writing on it when you were living with us?
I don't remember. It was the one out on that front porchy area?
Yeah, so we had a couch that had brand new lyrics, so they're just jealous because we're young and in love written on it. And I think Pat took my sword and stabbed the couch, and the hand thing broke, and it sliced his hand open, and we had to take him to the hospital. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. He played bass on the first tour, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was horrifying. And again, I wasn't drinking at this point. This was sober me doing these things.
Yeah, I mean, really, truly, like, people should know that you were very straight edge at this point.
Yeah, I was just insane. I had Counting Crows lyrics written in marker really big on my wall. It said, like, I want to be a lion, I think, really big on my wall. And then, do you remember in my bedroom I think about this sometimes, about, like, what a sad piece of shit I am. Like, I used to have in my room a black spider web across the entire ceiling, wrapped in purple lights. There were multiple strings of purple lights that would fade in and out, and I set them at different times. So it would be like this sea of purplish spider webs on the ceiling. Do you remember, because I remember this being a fight with us, do you remember what I used to go to sleep listening to?
I don't, but I know that everything you did in your room, I heard very clearly in my room next door.
It was the Abyss DVD, like, music, just bleeps, bloops, and sound. And you're like, I lay awake and listen to the goddamn Abyss DVD menu all night. I'm like, it's so calming.
You did sleep to a lot of DVD menus. Those things would be going on for 8, 9, 10 hours.
So, all right, it's been an hour. We should jump into the song.
So I'm not like you.
Yeah, so if you want to stop now, pause and go listen to I'm Not Like You, which is bizarrely, again, just in classic Darling Way style, the I'm is not I apostrophe M, it's just Not is not capitalized, but then like and you are capitalized. Just maybe the worst you could write those 4 words. Unless it was
again, no drinking.
Unless it was like EWE or something for you. So,
KNOT for not.
Yeah, like LYKE. Like, yeah, but it's not even it's not even trying to be weird or edgy. We just suck. Or I, personally, will take the blame for this.
I'm trying to remember. Wouldn't I have done the layout on the CD book?
Yeah, for sure you would have. So it's your fault.
Yeah, I will accept that.
Okay, so go listen to it, and then now we're gonna fucking chunk it as we do.
Chunk that song up.
Okay, anything you want to say before we jump in?
I did not really remember this song, and when I was listening to it, I was like, I have vague recollection of the song. The other songs, like, totally remember, but this one I still had the vaguest recollection of. So it was interesting listening through it.
This might be the song that I cringe at the hardest. It's just so far removed from what Darling Waste ends up being.
Is it? We'll have that debate with some of my notes.
All right, so let's get it started. What a surprise. I'm starting it off with a record scratch.
And I know that came straight out of Nuendo.
Yeah, they have that record scratch sound, right?
But I don't know whether we mix this in Nuendo or not, or if we played it out of Nuendo onto the ADAT tape just to have it for this.
I have a weird memory of us mixing this in A, so I think
my thought as to why is when I looked at who was playing on it, not only did Andy play the drums, guess who played the electric guitars?
Greg, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember going all in on this song, which is hilarious now. I was really all in on this song. So, all right, here we go. All right, so we'll start with the lo-fi intro. Do you hate it? Do you love it?
Well, I mean, that was so of the times. I think what's amazing is that you play the acoustic guitar so hard, you actually pulled it out of tune with the force of your strumming.
I think we purposely have it out of tune. I think I wanted it shitty.
I mean, I know we wanted the sound shitty. You think that much tuning actually was intentional? Okay.
I think so. I think I remember being like, it has to sound like a home recording. We can't tune it. You know, I really think I wanted there to be such a lo-fi to hi-fi that I did everything I could to, like, get it better when it kicks in.
I do actually think when everything kicks in, I do like that contrast and that kick in. It feels good. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I would do it today. I stand by the lo-fi intros.
Okay, great.
All right, here we go. So first off, I can 100% tell this is written for my high school band. I am even singing like the singer of the high school band in his register and everything. There is a song called Silverfuck by Smashing Pumpkins that my high school band was playing at the time, and this is very close to that, and I can tell that I was writing this to be we don't need to cover that song anymore, here's one for us, for sure.
That's interesting that you had that sort of Smashing Pumpkins correlation. I don't know that song off the top of my head, but this and another part of the song screamed Nine Inch Nails to me.
Which is funny, because there's an original chorus to this song that was to Nine Inch Nails, and I pulled it off and changed the chorus.
Yeah, so the bridge also, with the way
don't give up on me,
and that little like piano, ghostly piano thing, very Nails as well. But I think the vocal melody, even some of the lyric writing, really evoked that for me.
Short, sweet chorus with dropping the F-bomb. I was surprised it didn't come right in, but I guess because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it comes right on the 1, so I wasn't ready for that 2-bar break of the chorus before I started singing. I would have rather I sang it twice instead of having
I wonder if I introduced that just to make it feel a little off kilter.
I think so, but it's nice. I enjoy my screams. I
love a good distorted scream in the background. I'm here for it totally.
Yeah, I should have done that more in my career. I do it later in my career again, but I took like 4 albums off from screaming, and I don't know why.
I love the guitar riffs. Once I saw that it was, once I saw it was Greg playing, it was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I just hated either the way they recorded or mixed or both.
Oh, really?
It has a very interesting sort of lo-fi, almost like 8-bit rock feel to the guitar sounds.
Okay.
But
I didn't notice.
Yeah, not my favorite guitar tones for this. I would have wanted it bigger and more open, and it was definitely a different taste. I don't know if that was intentional or not, or just my lack of skill at the time.
Yeah,
love the riffs.
Even today, when it comes to guitar tone, I'm like, whatever makes you happy. Like I am bad at guitar tones. I have bad taste in guitar tones, so I let people kind of just do their thing on my records. I appreciate the fact that there's no delays or extra vocals going on. Me today for sure when I say, like, to see you smile, I'd break my neck, my neck, my neck, neck. No, yeah, there would be some ear candy there. And there's something to be said about letting a song just sit and not do all that shit, and I'm really bad, just pile it on.
I have two sort of notes on this. If I were listening to this now from like the engineering perspective, I wonder what it would have been like if we cut out the instrumental verse before the lyrics come in and actually have gone straight from that short chorus right into verse 2. I don't know, but I would be interested to hear that.
Yeah, because we already know the riff. We don't need the riff again, right?
Right, so that's sort of me just sort of wondering, and that's an easy edit to try. You like it, great. If not, move back it. The other thing is, I think vocal production wise on the Shit Today line, which by the way is of course very Trent, I think to contrast with the other line ender, I would have had you stay on the first note of Today and not done the multi-note.
What did I go, Shit Today? Melody. Like something like that?
Yeah, I would have just had you stay up on that to contrast it to the earlier line.
Yeah.
Right. Just that each line ended slightly different, and it didn't become like, okay, every end has got to like have a multi-note trail off. Like, so those would probably be my production notes.
I would have really enjoyed some production at the end of my scream there. I would have liked to have reverbed that out or something.
But you know what, that'd be an okay place to do it going into this bridge.
Yeah, right. And just put a forever reverb trail on it, so it just kind of smooths it into this thing. So,
and actually, I would have loved not only like a long, really loud reverb tail, but have the reverb tail like dissolve into an ever bittier version of itself as it fades out. Really like just deconstruct that reverb tail. That would have been good.
Don't give up on me. Don't give up. Don't give up on me. Don't give up. Don't give up on me. Don't give up.
I have lots of thoughts. Do you have lots of thoughts?
I only have one real thought.
What's your thought?
Well, I guess a minor thought and a real thought. The minor thought is I like the little chuggy guitars coming in there.
Yeah.
But my big thought is really more about the arrangement, about did we exit it to the right part of the song?
Oh, okay. I understand that. Yeah. Okay. That's probably valid. So my arrangement thoughts are going to be anti-Jaime stuff. It needs to be twice as long. We don't get nothing gets done. It's all like half thought, half thought, half thought, half thought. Right? Mm-hmm. I start singing. The drums come in too early. I wasn't ready for the drums yet. I would have liked just the chunky guitars without drums for twice, and then the drums come in. Mm-hmm. And then it just randomly changes to vocal distortion. Lance singing the same part. That felt like a half-baked idea. There could have been harmonies, just going, please, please, or something in the backgrounds. We could have gotten it bigger to make you forget about the song a little bit more to bring you back to the song.
And I would have been okay with that for this, actually. And I'm wondering, was the original version longer and I chopped it down with you?
I feel like maybe we cut it down some to get under 5.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like that, particularly that distorted part, comes in on such a weird spot. And I'm wondering if we edited that song down some.
I wonder if we did, which would be interesting because I have the original Nuendo files, I believe. So I wonder what's in there.
Yeah, but you're right. Overall, the song, if we took out the jamming riff before verse 2, took it out here and went back to the chorus or wherever you wanted to go, then we could spend a little bit more time in the bridge and I think you'd have a better song.
Yeah, like I think I agree with the bridge being longer and more developed and taking a longer time to build to bigger heights and getting all swimmy and all that stuff actually be a really good thing. And I think, if anything, going to the chorus with no vocals and then to the little outro being the only time we return back to the verse riff when it's lo-fi again. Something like that, which may be a little bit more traditional of an arrangement. I just don't love the verse riff. We don't need to jam it again,
right? Right.
Yeah, it's just, I don't love it.
Yeah, and we've already done it. Like, why are we doing it again and again and again?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'll just play to the end here. Let's see. Yeah, so first off, it's not even a traditional arrangement. Like, it doesn't go back to the hook ever again at the end there. We just jam for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would have preferred, like you said, an instrumental version of the chorus, or maybe because you were giving me those 2 bars to breathe anyway, maybe we could have done a chorus there.
Well, I wonder, though, listening to this, if we did do the bridge much, much longer and build it up to much, much bigger, more complex thing, if it could have hard cut to just the distorted lo-fi outro and not have any chorus or verse after, but just like...
There's a better version of the song that exists.
There's a better version of the song, and I think if we wanted to keep that particular guitar pattern on the lo-fi parts, I think we needed to not be so linear with it and so married to it in the full band versions of those verses. Like, it's too dominant as just like a little riff.
Up and down the neck riff, yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't work for me in the song. I actually like a lot of the other pieces.
And I think having Greg come in and do his thing helped that, because he gave us another melody to listen to, counter melody, besides my up and down the neck D thing. So yeah, no, I overall agree with you. And that was not as rough of a listen as I was expecting. I just hate the chorus so fucking much.
It's so funny because all right, I'll give you the lyrics on it. They're a little like early in your career.
It's like something that would be on a T-shirt at Spencer's. Like,
you think about like When the Ball Drops or some of those sort of things, and it's like this sort of sentiment is not going to cut it for who you became in terms of the emotional articulation of the band. This sort of statement that the chorus is making just doesn't match that.
What do we think of the song? Overall, I kind of liked it a little bit better than I was ready to.
And I would say I liked it better than a lot of the songs we've heard to date on this album.
If it was not a Darling Waste song, I think I would be like, yeah, it's fine. Early 2000s, late 90s, schlocky.
Yeah, it doesn't sound much like Darling Waste at all, actually. But I like it for what it is.
What do you think of the recording?
I was feeling better about these drums than some of the other drums I recorded. Andy plays, which is great. It hits better. I really, as you know, I hate the way I mix the guitars in this. And I would have produced your vocals a little differently in the future, some of the way you're articulating things. I think you even said it was a little bit more reminiscent of your high school band mates.
Recording wise, I thought you did a fine job. The stuff we got in that era, I don't know if it just was you or the rooms or the mics, but it's just so clean sounding and it's kind of basic, but it's very easy to follow and not muddy. I think some of my later stuff gets real muddy when I take over, you know?
Well, thank you. That is actually something that people have always remarked, is that at least like all the elements of the songs I've mixed, you can hear. I may not like how I mixed it. I may not think that sort of big enough and stuff, but at least there's a lot of separation there between things. So
yeah, it sounds like a real recording in a real room, where a lot of my stuff sounds like it's manufactured more, you know.
Well, we worked with an amazing live room there, so just having that natural sound on the drums gives them a very different taste.
And having some pros on it too, I think, you know, having Andy and Greg play, you know,
two really solid musicians.
That saved that song. I think it was me and whatever that kid's name was playing this song, Bolternick, would not have been the same song, right? Like, we had pros playing the song. Song structure, we already kind of went over it. I think there's a lot. This song could be saved through edits, probably. Or not saved, but elevated through edits.
Mm-hmm.
It was recorded, this song was pretty much recorded, I think, from the ground up at Metrosync.
To the best of my knowledge.
Yeah, I believe so. We definitely used the Green Bullet to scream into. We had Greg playing guitar, Andy on drums. I played bass. I will say, I don't remember my bass part on the main riff going up a little bit, and that was fun. I thought I would just hang out on the D forever. I was happy that I actually had a little bit of a part. I didn't mind my bass in this song.
Nice.
Surprisingly, because usually I hate it, but I actually was okay with the bass in this song. Instrumentation, if I was doing it again, I hated... That's an early attempt at us reversing cymbals, and you can definitely tell. We talked about this in another thing where we were like, maybe we didn't know how to do that yet. It's like, nope, we didn't. There it was us giving it a shot, and it didn't really didn't work. So still trying to figure out how to reverse cymbals.
And not only how to reverse them, but where to do it, where it's actually needed and helpful.
And I also have memories of like that being like a 5-hour process for me and you, being like, take that one off. Now lower that one a little bit. Let's change the pitches on them. You know, like we probably spent a day on that shitty backward cymbal. Okay, that one's not good. Let's do cymbal B off the pre-pack and reverse that. Well, can we blend it with A and see what the two sound like, and, you know, pan it a little bit, or, you know, I'm sure we spent way too long to not come up with much. What do I think of the lyrics? I think they hold the song back in a horrifying way. I sound like a teenager mad that he has to mow the grass or something. Like, it's like, I bust my ass and nothing's ever good enough for you people. Like, it's just petulant. I wrote it for a character that was going to be played by our other singer of the other band. Very clearly, it's not.
I could really see this as being a song in that other band.
Yeah, this was not from a personal place or anything like that. This was can I rip off Nine Inch Nails, Smashing Pumpkins, and give it to my band? Have we played it live? So hilariously, I have played this song live a couple times.
Wow.
When we get to that part of the show where we're like, anybody have a request, every 1,000th person says, and it's always... And if you're listening, I don't mean to be mean. We have an older audience sometimes. Even when we were very young, we had the teeny boppers, but sometimes we had like moms who fell into us through Changing the Seasons, and this was always the only other song on the record they liked. I don't know why, but your average 2003 to 2005 soccer mom that liked our band would always be like, I'm not like you. So I did. I mean, the riff is literally drop it down to D and run your hand up and down the guitar. And the lyrics are so juvenile that I can just make them up and they still sound the same. Right? Like, no, Mom, I won't do my dishes. Fuck you. So I have actually played an acoustic version of this song more than once.
Probably never full band?
Never full band. No, I never showed this to anybody else. We never learned how to play the song. So, yeah, that's it. That's the song. Or do you want to go on to recommendations? Are you good with...
Yeah, let's do recommendations.
All right. What do you got? Do you got anything?
Yeah, I'm going to give a shout out to my second favorite podcast after this one, which would be Queer as Fact. They not only are tremendous, but now that I am experiencing frequent bad bouts of vertigo and can't watch or read or really do anything other than try not to vomit for hours, I listen to a lot of them, and it's very nice to have my brain thinking about something other than feeling horrible. And so not only do I love them all dearly and their Australian accents, but I obviously really respect what they are doing and the textual literacy skills that they bring to it, but also just very grateful to have it when I'm feeling so sick. So Queer as Fact is definitely my recommendation this week.
I will check them out. I'm sorry that you're not feeling well. That's awful.
It's just life's new chronic thing, just something to deal with.
So mine is going to be kind of vague this week. I've been getting the kids out and doing free stuff in the community. I've never been one of those people who take advantage of things going on, and I've joined some boards that promote, like, there's going to be a hawk at Town Square at noon on Saturday. I'm like, let's go look at this hawk, kids. We met Santa, we went to a tree lighting, we went to a caroling thing, and the kids are eating it up. They don't want to go, they want to stay home and play on their phones until they're out in the air and wandering around, and we've did a petting zoo thing that they put on. So that's my recommendation, is actually get out into your communities, find the stupid little things they're doing, like, and go do that and enjoy yourself and get outside a little bit.
That's a great recommendation, and I think more people need to follow that and get off their devices.
Yeah, we're looking at
except when you're listening to this podcast, definitely stay on your device for the full podcast experience.
And also on a not as cool, because I don't want to make myself sound cool. I want to make sure everyone knows I'm a douchebag. I've been using the hydro massage at Planet Fitness. Holy shit, it's awesome. If you're using the chair massager, fuck that. Go to the hydro massager. It's awesome.
Nice. So that's now our 5th product placement of this. So we've got a lot of potential new sponsors if any of them want to go with us.
Next week.
Tar lines? Oh.
Yeah. So Tar Lines is an interesting one. We'll see if it holds up. It was a big album track for us off the first album that people really liked, and I think we played it live, and it was a song. So we'll see if it holds up, because it was a well-loved song in the early days of Darling Waves, but did not stand the test of time as far as staying in our set list. It got booted pretty early. I think it's pretty Pearl Jammy, but we'll see. So, all right, until next time, thank you,
Awesome.
Jamie. I appreciate you. Love you. I will see you next week, probably.
Thanks so much. Love you right back.
Yeah. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.